All right, the Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Houston Rockets 101-100 in a very exhilarating finish there. Brook Lopez, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. Giannis, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Dame, 18 points, 10 assists. For Houston, Fred VanVleet, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Jalen Green, 21 points, 9 rebounds. And Sengun, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. A game I thought the Houston Rockets should have won, quite frankly.
Same.
Kwab, you think the same?
Same.
Kwab thinks the same thing. The Rockets come out with a really strong start to start the first quarter. I think it was 9-0. It was a 9-0 start for the Rockets. Bucks kind of adjusted, and I think the Bucks were the better team in the first half. I like the way that Giannis played. Was very patient. You know, he was used to them kind of packing the paint, and he kind of accepted that and trusted his players. Brook Lopez hit a bunch of threes.
Bro.
Gary Trent Jr. with a big first half. And I thought A.J. Green was phenomenal today. He's somebody who I think might be an unsung hero of this game. He hit a huge three to set up Damian Lillard's game-winning shot. Also played fantastic defense. I haven't watched much of A.J. Green, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I'm a Knicks fan and I just tune into different games, so I'm not like studying A.J. Green. Today was like the first time I was like, oh crap, like this boy could actually play defense. You know, he's not just out there just existing. So shout out to A.J. Green. I thought he played a phenomenal game. But the Rockets, man, after Fred VanVleet's third quarter, and we'll get more into him because I feel like that third quarter was pretty much a mirage and maybe a microcosm of Fred VanVleet's tenure in Houston, where it's kind of like, I thought he was playing awful up until that point. Then he had a really good stretch in the third, brought them back kind of single-handedly. But he did score 26 points on 23 shots. I thought Jalen Green showed flashes of his potential in the second half. Sengun was okay all game. Not too great, but the dribble handoff offense that they run with him, to me, is what they should be doing all the freaking time.
Thank you.
Because that's how they got their best shots all game. Even though Sengun was remarkably average for him, because he can be better than what he was today.
Yes.
That's what the Houston Rockets should be doing every single possession down the floor. Obviously, you have to switch it up every once in a while, but towards the end of the game, they went away from that, and I could not, for the life of me, understand that. Now, they got decent shots. Dylan Brooks missed a wide-open three in the corner there, so it wasn't like they didn't get the shots that they needed to complete this game, but to me, that is by far, when Houston looks their best. Outside of those dribble handoff actions and with Fred VanVleet and Green, the Rockets' offense in the half court just looks just so discombobulated. But shout out to Milwaukee. They win this game, a game that I don't want to say they didn't deserve to win. You deserve to win every game you win in the association. But a game that I thought the Rockets more so lost than the Bucks won, if that makes any sense. I don't want to take too much credit away from the Bucks, but I feel like the Rockets should have won this game for sure. Kwab, your overall thoughts, and then we can get into specifics here.
Well, starting off, I thought the Bucks started off really slow, obviously in the first quarter, and I was just like, oh, this is bad. But like it was like, I think the Rockets started off with like, it was an 11-1 point at a certain point, and
Yeah.
Brook Lopez was one of the main reasons why the Bucks were able to get back in the game and then get the lead. He played phenomenal. It still trips me out that he's a stretch 5 now, because I watched him from his rookie year. He was one of the best low post big men in the league, and now he's a stretch 5. But that's everybody knows that's a whole other thing. To me, like you said, I agree with you with when it comes to the Rockets with the dribble handoff offense and basically playing through Sengun, or just a 2-man game they had, him and Jalen Green had to start off the game. It's just, to me, they're very effective when Sengun touches the ball and they run that offense. And also, looking on the other side, this is something I expected, kind of similar offense, which I expected the Bucks to run in terms of with Dame and Giannis, where it's like them two playing a 2-man offense with either pick and roll and handoff and being involved in the offense. Too many times during the course of the game with the Bucks, I would see like pick and roll, or where they would force a switch, and instead of throwing the ball down to Giannis, it would be like a Gary Trent 3, or like a, you know what I mean, or a Torian Prince like long range shot. And I'm like, this is not effective offense. But the Bucks played well enough to win. That's why they won. Like Dame hit some tough shots in the fourth to bring him the victory. So it worked out. But I expected the Rockets to play better, especially I know they're coming off a back-to-back, but how they played yesterday against the Bulls, where they demolished them, like
Yeah.
destroyed them. The way they played that game, they can beat anybody. Like the ball was moving, uh, they were rebounding the hell out of the ball. They're a really great rebounding team, and their defense was top notch. And to me, during the course of this game, they got away from moving the ball.
Yeah, they did.
It was just I know a lot of people shout out Will Bias Houston. He calls it magnet ball. He wants them to stop playing magnet ball. Like
That's what he calls it.
yeah, you know what I mean. So
It was
he
a
hates it.
man. Yeah,
He
I
hates it
love
when a
it.
team plays magnet ball. He's like they got to move the ball. And to me, you have a center who's a hub who's like very unselfish, and on top of being a great scorer. I know he didn't have a great game, but they should have been playing through him more through the course of the game. But you see the potential of like how good the Rockets can be, like through certain points of this game, and you're just like this could be a really good team. But they still have moments where you're just like, yo, what are y'all doing? You're still young. Like some of the
Yeah, they're
shots are
young. I
questionable.
think they
yeah.
need
Go
they
ahead.
need a shooter. They need a shooter. They need
That's-
somebody to spread
That's
the
what
floor.
Reed is supposed to be. That's why they got Reed,
and
baby.
Reed didn't play too well today.
Yeah.
Steven Adams also. Steven Adams, hold on for like 2 seconds. You know that feeling you got watching Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, where you're like, oh, this.
It wasn't as bad, but it was very close. It was very close. Yes.
It was watching Steven Adams. It was close to that
I'm
because
like,
he could not move, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was 60-year-old senior citizen trying to box, but it was still like, God damn, man, you should not be on the court right now.
Yeah.
Also, I would be remiss. It's actually sick that I didn't bring these two players up. Tari Eason and Amin Thompson are disgusting defensively.
Disgusting.
Like absurd defensively.
What do they call them? The Terror Twins. That's what they call
Oh
them.
my God.
They're
I'm a-
ridiculous.
There
They're
was in the
ridiculous.
first half. There was like 3 straight possessions where Amen was guarding Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
And then the next possession, he stood in front of him the whole possession. Good possession. Next possession, he got switched onto Giannis, stole the ball from Giannis. Next possession was on Bobby Portis and forced a contested kick. Like, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Amin Thompson. Tari Eason, too, his energy. To me, for my money, and I think Will said this too in the preview, you could go back and say this, so I might be stealing his take, but they are the 2 most important Rockets going. Like, those 2
Yeah.
right there are your cornerstones. I know Jalen Green's probably the most talented offensively. You drafted Jabari. By the way, if he could hit an outside jumper, what this would do for this team is insane. He has to start hitting jumpers. But those 2 right there, oh my God, bro.
There's a
Oh my
section.
God.
There's a section of Rockets Twitter.
Yeah.
I think there's a big section of Rockets Twitter that believe that those 2 should be started. They should be the
It's
starting
tough
lineup.
because the shooting, man. Like, there's no spacing if they're on the same. That's the problem with that lineup.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like you know what you're gonna get from them when they come off the bench.
Yeah.
It's like just a great change of pace. Where it's just like, oh, even if you're down, if you're up, they're gonna bring the same energy. They're difference makers. So like, I see a couple of people like, yo, they should be starting, but like, I understand what you're saying. It's tough because of the shooting, but they're so good.
Oh,
they're
unbelievable,
so
bro.
good. They're
I
so
love,
good.
I love watching them play.
Yeah,
I love
they're
watching
so
them
good.
play. What are your thoughts on the Bucks though overall? Like watching this game, like I was trying to evaluate how I feel about them and like if I could see them getting to the point where they're Eastern Conference Finals contenders or Eastern Conference contenders.
At any point in that game, did you look at that team and were like, yeah, you're scared of that team? That's
Not at all,
been
man.
the problem with the Bucks, and I can't, for the life of me, I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, you have Giannis, who many stretches during the course of the game, he just looks unstoppable because of the stuff he does.
Yeah.
You have Dame, who is still one of the best shot makers in the league.
He had a tough night.
He had a tough. He's been having a.
Shout out to Dame. You hit the game winner.
Yeah,
Right,
he hit a
tough
game
night.
winner, but he's still. I mean, you still got to respect it at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like that's
Yes.
that when it comes down to it, you still got to respect it. You have Brooke, who like we saw tonight, one of the best big men in the league. You have these pieces on the team, and it's just to me, it just doesn't. I don't know why it.
Middleton's such a big part of why they were
Is
so
it really?
successful.
Is the Middleton
I think-
piece
I
that
do,
important?
man.
Like it's
Yeah.
like he's.
Yeah.
You see
Yes.
the.
Yeah, I do. I think he takes them from a playoff team to a contender. I absolutely do. Also, Pat Connaughton did not play today. I
At
don't know
all.
if you noticed that. He got no playing time when I think it's a coach's decision. I don't think that was like he was hurt. I think Doc Rivers was like, oh, he's not going to play today. That's my Doc Rivers impression.
Doc. No, I mean, Doc was like, nah, I got AJ Green. Stop. You're good. I don't need.
I mean, AJ was great today.
AJ was great.
I thought AJ was great today.
I mean,
I don't see the Bucks, man. This was probably their biggest victory of the season, if you think about it, right? I mean, they haven't won many games. No. They haven't beat anybody really worth of value that I can think of off the top of my head. And the Rockets coming into this game they were on a 5-game winning streak, the 3 seed in the West, and 10-4. Yeah. So based off the record, I mean, I know the Rockets, a lot of people don't look at the Rockets in that, like they put them in that stratosphere of like the Nuggets or the Mavericks. But the truth is, like coming into this game, they were the third best team in the West. So you got to respect them on that aspect. So to me, this is probably the biggest win in the Bucks season.
So are we really saying that the Bucks, because they don't have Middleton, like they're not? That's like he's the missing Infinity Stone. Like that's the
he might be, bro. I mean, look what he did last year in the playoffs, man. Dame was out. I know Giannis was out, but like he carried them in Indiana. Like he's their best. I shouldn't say this anymore with Dame, but he's someone you can give the ball to at any point. Like go get us a bucket. Yeah. You know, Dame's probably. I would prefer Dame, maybe. In certain situations.
That didn't sound too.
No, because Dame to me, bro, like Dame is like, I think Dame is a phenomenal player, but sometimes he takes shots where I'm just like, dude, like you don't have to take a step back 30-footer, bro.
But that's his
like,
game.
My favorite Dame is the Dame that finished this game, where it's like I'm gonna go to the hoop. Even when he was missing today, I don't think he played bad. He shot poorly, but he was getting to the hoop, putting pressure on the rim, and that's something that I think, even though he's missing, or even though he thinks he's getting fouled and missing. When you're putting pressure on the hoop like that, I think eventually things start to go well, and that's my favorite version of Dame. My problem with Dame specifically is that sometimes he takes bad shots from 3, and also outside of like hitting the pocket and the pick and roll, which he does really well, and reading the pick and roll, which he does really well, he doesn't really create for others in any sort of way. You know, I don't give him the ball on the fast break and trust that he's going to find the open man and be creative. I don't give him the ball in the half court and expect him to make something out of nothing, and that's fine. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. But I feel like he's kind of limited in his playmaking ability. I think
my problem. I don't say my problem, but
it's not a problem. It's just my analysis.
My analysis of Dame. What the issue with Dame is that the Bucks have a perimeter defense problem. They had that last year. Yeah, and they kind of stretches they have it this year. And one of the main issues is because of Dame. There are times he gets targeted, and he doesn't really shore up that much on defense. Also, Again, with the Bucks are still like they were playing drop in certain a lot of coverages, which I was like, okay, why? That's what I'm like the Rockets.
Well, they're comfortable with that.
They're
that
very
was
comfortable
reason
with
why
that.
They butted heads with Adrian Griffin, because Adrian Griffin, what did they get out of that?
Yeah, but to me, that's what I was gonna say. When they do that, I was like, the Rockets should run the pick and roll and the handoff every time. They're gonna get an open shot. Yeah, they're gonna get an open shot every time, just because like the guard defensively doesn't always end up recovering. So you're gonna end up getting a shot, but I mean, good win for the Bucks. It's a good win for the Bucks. Solidly. It's a good win for the Bucks. Now they still have a little bit of they have a climb. Like if they want to get to where everybody thought they were supposed to be, everybody had them like a top 3, top 4 team in the East, and they've been struggling all year.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, Kwab, thanks for hopping on, everybody. Thanks for watching us. We'll be on tomorrow. Cavs Celtics tomorrow. Cavs, Celtics. So that's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that. Kwab and I will be dropping a full episode soon as well. Also, look out for our power rankings. Until then, we'll see you next time for another review or episode of The Dime. Peace.